Hello, I'm Elise Jones.
And I'm Coy Kozad with your CAVS News Show.
From the studios of Chillicothe High School, this is your CAVS News Show.
In Mountain View, California, a Google self-driving car was pulled over for going too slow. The officer said he realized it was a Google car and pulled it over to contact the operators and find out why they were going 25 in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. The operator said they were going slow for safety reasons. For more pop culture, here's Parker Tracy with Pop Fusion.
Hi, I'm Parker Tracy, and welcome back to Pop Fusion. Will I ever decide on which shirt I'm going to wear for this? Probably not. Let's kick this off the usual way and talk about some music. These are the top 5 songs of this week. At number 5, we have Stitches by Shawn Mendes. At number 4, we have The Hills by The Weeknd. At number 3, we have Sorry by Justin Bieber. At number 2, we have Hotline Bling by Drake. And at number 1, we have Hello by Adele. As always, you can find the top 100 songs on Billboard.com. Now on to some gaming news. I have talked about this before, so I won't stay on it for too long. The new Star Wars Battlefront game was released earlier this week. This game is a shooter game that has been rated T for Teen by the ESRB and allows you to play as either the Rebellion or the Empire and battle it out across the galaxy. It even allows you to customize your character, which isn't often in DICE's games. But some people have been angered that you can play as a stormtrooper who has their helmet off. Listen guys, they need to breathe every once in a while too, alright? But while we are on the subject of video games, there has been a very large development for the Xbox One. Not only now does it run on Windows 10, but backwards compatibility has been introduced for the console. For those who are not familiar with this term, it refers to the ability of a console to play games that are made for the previous system, in this case the Xbox One being able to play Xbox 360 games. Now, only certain games are available for backwards compatibility, but more are planned to be available as time progresses. Microsoft has listed the games that are available to be played on the One on their website. If you have digitally purchased one of the available games, it should be available to download on the system. If you have a physical copy of the backwards compatible game, you need to just put the disc in and install it to the hard drive. Keep in mind that you still need to have the disc in to play the game. I'm actually really excited to be able to play some of my old games on the Xbox One. Once they manage to get Halo Reach compatible, I'll be set for life. Before I get going, I should mention some other news. If you didn't already know, the first teaser trailer for Finding Dory was released. If you want to check it out, you should be able to find it on YouTube. I'm pretty excited. I love the original Finding Nemo, so I have high hopes for this film. One final thing, AMC has released its new show known as Into the Badlands. This show focuses on heavily stylized martial arts combat and features a world that is ruled over by barons who have their clippers, which are bodyguards and mercenaries. The story follows one of the clippers, who is named Sonny, who wants to free himself and start a new life beyond the Badlands. From what I've seen and read, this show seems like a joy to watch, and I'll probably check it out for some time myself. Well, I better not overstay my welcome. Let's go back to my buddies in the studio.
Thanks, Parker. The actor Charlie Sheen told NBC's Matt Lauer on Tuesday that he was diagnosed as HIV positive about 4 years ago. The few people who knew it demanded money from him to keep secret. Sheen says, "I'm here to admit that I'm HIV positive." Let's go to Ryan Kincaid with Did You Know?
Thanks, and welcome to Did You Know? I'm Ryan Kincaid, and today we're going to be talking about the Electoral College. Now, this isn't a college to learn how to vote. It's the committee we use to elect the president. Contrary to other voting systems, the race for president is not a popular vote. Instead, 538 electoral votes are distributed to the 50 states. Each state has their own elections for president, and the candidate with the majority of the popular vote wins all the electoral votes in the state. So for instance, if Ohio voted 51% in favor of candidate A and 49% for candidate B, then all of Ohio's 18 votes would go to candidate A, which isn't exactly representative of what all the people want, as the vote should be fairly split 10 votes to candidate A and 8 votes to candidate B. And it gets worse. Those 18 votes Ohio has to elect a president, yeah, they're given to 18 people called electors, retired politicians and stuff, to vote for the president, not the people, and they are not required to vote how the citizens voted. Even if candidate B won 100% of the vote, the electors can give the victory to candidate A and not get in trouble for it. This has happened over 80 times in US history when the electors gave their votes to the losing candidate. One famous incident happened in 2004 when an elector in Minnesota voted for the running mate, or vice president, of John Kerry, who was the real candidate challenging George Bush. Could this get any worse? Of course it could. Here's how to win the 270 electoral votes you need with less than 25% of the popular vote. It's simple, really. You just need to win by one vote in the following states: Wyoming, Washington, D.C., Vermont, North Dakota, Alaska, South Dakota, Delaware, Montana, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine, Hawaii, Idaho, Nebraska, West Virginia, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, Kansas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Iowa, Connecticut, Oklahoma, Oregon, Kentucky, Louisiana, South Carolina, Alabama, Colorado, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Maryland, Missouri, Tennessee, Arizona, Indiana, Massachusetts, Virginia, and New Jersey. Congratulations! If you win these states, you get 50.19% of the electoral votes you need compared to 21.9% of the popular vote, with a mere 78% of Americans not voting for you. Let's let that sink in for a minute. The Electoral College is our presidential voting system that gives votes to states, not people, and the votes can go wherever they want to, rather than go based on what the people want. Anyway, now that I'm out of time and breath, let's send it back to your anchors.
Thanks, Ryan. The popular food chain restaurant Chipotle is said to close because of an E. coli outbreak. Health officials have been interviewing people with a confirmed case about what they ate. They are also doing a blood test to find the source of this outbreak. For local Cavalier sport updates, here's Taylor Boggs.
Thanks, guys. I'm Taylor Boggs with this week's CAVS News Sports Update. Since we are stuck between the end of fall sports season and beginning of winter sports season, we don't have much to cover for the high school sports. I do know the basketball team starts their season on Friday, November 27th at 7:30 at Logan Elm High School. At this time, I do not have any updates on wrestling, bowling, or the swim team and when they start their seasons. For more on titles, log on to the Chillicothe City School website and click on Athletics. On the bigger sports teams, we have the Buckeyes, who are still undefeated. I am hoping the winning streak comes to an end on November 28th because I am a huge Michigan fan. To answer the question you guys are thinking, yes, I was born in Ohio, and no, I am not an Ohio State fan. The Blue Jackets finally found their groove and beat the Coyotes 5-2 on November 14th. They are now 6-12 in the season. The next home game will be on Friday, November 27th at 7 o'clock against the Penguins. That's all I have for this week. I'm Taylor Boggs, to Coy and Elise in the studio.
Thanks, Taylor. There was a terrorist attack this last Friday in Paris. More than 120 people were killed. The investigation is moving forward with 2 people taken into custody and the identification of 2 of the suicide bombers. The terrorist organization ISIS has taken responsibility for the attack. Paris quickly carried out airstrikes on targets in the militant organization's stronghold in Raqqa, Syria. They have also done more than 150 anti-terror police raids. Let's go to Maggie Daddy with this week's Hall Talk.
Some things that I do for Thanksgiving are my mom's side of the family comes to my house and we all have Thanksgiving dinner together.
We usually just have my uncle come over and we spend it as a family, and we usually eat just the traditional Thanksgiving foods like turkey, green bean casserole, stuffing, and after Thanksgiving is over, we usually just watch Christmas Vacation. It's a family tradition.
Every Thanksgiving, my family comes over to my house and we have turkey as our special meal. We have mashed potatoes. We have all sorts of different stuff.
My Thanksgiving tradition is to have all my family come over to one house and we hang out as a family. We do play games like dominoes, cards, and we eat a lot of ham, a lot of turkey, and I like pies and stuff, and we just be a happy little family.
Thanksgiving traditions. When I'm with my mom, I normally eat turkey and mashed potatoes and some ham, but whenever I'm with my grandma, we normally have Korean food, which would be like bulgogi or kimchi or some garbi, because half of my family is Korean. So it's normally split up into like 3 Thanksgivings. On Thanksgiving Day, for lunch, we go to my mom's side of the family. We hang out, eat, and then for dinner, we go to my dad's side of the family and have Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay, so we all go in a circle and tell everybody what we're thankful for.
All right, well, me and my parents, we go to one of our two grandparents' houses, either my dad's in Virginia's or my mom's here in Chillicothe, and we always have really good Thanksgiving ham.
Here at Chillicothe High School, we have a great lunch and breakfast system, but it wouldn't be as great without our wonderful lunch ladies. We interviewed them to see what it takes. Let's take a look.
Oftentimes, the lunch program at our school is overlooked. We went up close and personal with them to see what actually goes into being a worker in the lunchroom program.
My favorite part of working in the lunchroom actually is the interaction with the students. I don't get that very much anymore with being the manager. I'm mostly in the back, but the times that I do get out here, I like interaction with the students, finding out what they like, what they don't like, so we can kind of adjust our menus accordingly. Actually, our food service director, Ken Lovett, does the menu planning, and I do the specialty bar menus, and I try to gear it to help out our cooks. If it's an especially hard menu, I try to give them an easier satellite specialty bar menu to work with. We try to stick at least 2 to 3 times a week with the students' favorites, but for the most part, Ken Lovett does the main menu planning.
The most challenging part of my job is to try to get the food you guys like and within the guidelines. Federal guidelines are very strict, as you know now, that we have to meet certain guidelines, a certain amount of protein and only so much sodium and calories, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really a challenge to find products that meet the needs, that we can still put out products that you guys like to eat.
My favorite food that the lunchroom supplies would have to be the apples. If I had to rate them, they'd be a 10 out of 10.
We have eliminated a few of the least favorite items this year, as you've noticed walking around. We don't have as many sandwich selections. We don't have as many salad selections. And occasionally the students will tell us what they want. And if we have students coming in and saying, hey, why don't you serve this? We want to try it because we are here to serve the students. That is our job, is to serve the students, and that's what we enjoy doing. And we want to make your lunch experience as pleasant as possible for you.
My favorite food that the lunch ladies supply. I'm about to go with the Chinese food because I like Chinese food, and in my free time I eat Chinese food.
Favorite part of my job is working with the ladies and trying to get the best meals we can possible for you guys and give you the best selection we can and make it as much like a fast food restaurant, I guess, as possible to make it palatable to you guys, what you want to eat. So.
I have to deal with the wing students like me, so I feel like they have to be able to deal with that kind of stuff. I think they have to love the food they make. I feel like being a lunch lady is hard, man. All those kids, not enough, well, there is enough food for us children, but you gotta serve all of us. Do you know how complicated some people are? I feel like it's a hard job.
The teamwork is very important around here because without teamwork, this place would fall apart. And I work within the team. If any of my ladies need help, I'm there for them. If they're uncertain about anything, they know they can come to me. They can come to any of the other ladies for advice, for help. If one of my ladies doesn't show up, I'll just take over their spot. If for some reason that they have a phone call or something comes up that they have to leave, I'm more than prepared to step in their spot and take over.
As you can see, the lunchroom workers do an amazing job for us day in and day out. Maybe we all can go and thank a lunchroom worker the next time we have lunch. This is Josh Nyheiser with CAVS News, and now back to your main anchors.
That's it for this week. I'm Elise Jones.
And I'm Coy Kozat. Have a safe weekend, Chillicothe.